This is Majin, and here's some comic reviews for you. We got Justice League, Batman, Uncanny Avengers, some Sinning, some Avengers again, some Spiders, and some Fours. Okay, let's take a look at Justice League number 31. Personally, this book should have been the my best good book of the week, but because basically what this deals with is a nice little dialogue exchange between Lex and Bruce. And I thought what they had on paper here was great, but it needed more. I mean, I wanted to see more Battle of the Wits, because this would have been classic. You know, it's a chess match of words. And I think that they just kind of fell short, and it ended abruptly. Where, you know, Lex goes, "See, I told you," so let's cut to the chase. Well, I don't mind, like, saying, you know, cutting to the chase. It's just I wanted more of the intellectual side of the battle, to show who's actually smarter. Now, the main focus of the story, though, is, you know, the ring from the alternate dimension is looking for a new suitable host, and now it finds it. So that's the other part to it. Now, overall, I mean, it's a decent read. It just, for me, it just lacked a little bit to put it over the edge, but it's what you would expect from a Jeff Johns book. Alright, next up is Batman number 32. We're getting very near the end to whatchamacallit, 0 year. There's only one more issue after this. Now this one, it's not too bad. I mean, it's starting to put the pieces together to get to the, you know, like I said, the climactic battle. But again, it's, you know, it's one of those situations where, you know, Capullo's art is still fantastic. Snyder's writing is good, but it's like, I think what we're going to see is, depending upon how he ends it, that's going to be the good book of the week. Well, this one, it's just building up to it, but it's not, it's good, it just wasn't over the top. But, like, especially the ending, for me, when I got to the last part of it, I was kind of like, oh, well, that was kind of expected. Not exactly what was illustrated, but it was expected, that whole scene. So I was hoping for something a little bit more to get us to the end. Okay, Uncanny Avengers. They're really rushing this in the sense of, let's redo history really quickly, so this way we can get to the meat of the story, which is ultimately what King's Endgame is about. Now, I'm okay with that, in the sense that I don't really want to revisit everything, which is fine, but there's certain battles I wouldn't mind seeing. I've seen, like, for example, the Grim Reaper versus Wolverine with Havoc and Sunfire. Now that I kind of wanted to see. Basically, what their plan was is to put the power of every superhero into Rogue, and Rogue was going to hold back the Celestial, while the Wasp gets Sentry, convinces him to help out, and they're holding them back while Thor joins the attack. So it's a decent idea, and it works, and then again it falls right into Kang's plot, fiendish plot. I liked it, but for me, it's, I think, the next couple of issues where everything's really going to shine for this story. Okay, Original Sin, Hulk versus Iron Man number 1. In a way, they've really started the storyline a long time ago, because if you remember going back, they've started to put interactions between Tony and Bruce, and how they're trying to show that these two people work together or have known each other in the past. And this issue pretty much hits it home, because basically what happens is Bruce Hulk realizes that Tony sabotaged the Gamma Bomb, and that's what caused Bruce Banner to turn into the Hulk. Personally, I wanted to see more fight. But then what we do is we get to the back storyline, or this is what happened in the past. So I'm kind of torn with it. Because this is going to be multiple issues, I was kind of, maybe I wouldn't mind more fighting, but we'll see how this part of it plays out. For me, Wade did a decent job, but at the same time, for me, it wasn't like, oh my god, that's just the greatest thing known to mankind, because it wasn't even shocking anymore. You know, because they were... This is where it's kind of tricky, because on one hand, I applaud the fact that they were planting the seeds all along that this was going on. And on the other hand, I wanted this as a surprise. And then on the other hand, I'm like, why does Tony even have to be involved in this? So I'm a series of conflicting emotions with this. But I am really curious to see how it's going to play out. Let's just get the Fantastic Four 6 Original Sin over with. Basically, it's really good up to the, in the sense that you have this emotional part where the Avengers, the Fantastic Four are going home, and the Avengers basically go, I'm sorry, we can't let you in the Baxter Building. We sympathize with what you're doing. We're going to do whatever we can to look into this, but we can't let you in. And then you have like Luke Cage going, for sure. And I'm like, oh, like part of it just sounds like, how like when you were a kid and your parents are just like giving you lip service, and that they have zero intention of ever doing whatever they're agreeing to do. That's what I got from this dialogue with the Avengers and Sue Storm. And Sue Storm just has it, and she basically unleashes her powers. So I'm really curious to see where this part's going. Because in theory, she is the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four, and she could wipe out all those guys. Then we get to the Human Torch Thing storyline, and I loved all of this part. Now, what they did was they went to the past, and they found a moment in time where Reed was trying to cure the Thing, and then Johnny goes in and sabotages it. And I don't know. I don't know if it was intentional or was it like he was just goofing around. But it was an interesting point in time that they actually used. So I'm curious to see how this is going to play out, because Ben and Johnny were like brothers, and this is completely shattering that. So if anything, I'm really looking forward to seeing the outcome of this part of the story. New Avengers number 20. Like I mentioned before, this is the Avengers versus the Justice League. Now the fight, first of all, I love how it has that reddish-orange tone throughout the whole, all the panels and the coloring. The fight is actually really good. Especially between Namor and then the Russian Manhunter clone, the Black Panther, Batman clone fight's good. The Hulk Superman fight is good. I only wish I could see the Green Lantern Black Bolt fight. But what really is taking things to that next level is Doctor Strange going, alright, I have totally flipped my lid and I am going to wreak havoc. And that's what I'm really looking forward to reading the most. Also, with the Flash versus Iron Man, that was a very interesting way of handling that battle. But that being said, I enjoyed it. Because this is in the middle of a storyline, it's one of those type of things that you just can't recommend people to jump on and read it. But I would highly recommend getting the trades. I really wish there was one more double-sized with more fighting, and this would have been perfect. Amazing Spider-Man number 3. Alright, Black Cat's getting her revenge. Who's doing the art? Ramos did a good job overall. But for the most part, it's like Ramos has been the vision of Spider-Man. Now, what we're doing in this one here is basically a twofold. Parker's trying to basically make a contraption so this way they can secure Electro and cure him. And then you also have the Black Cat going, hey, I need my vengeance. And, it's like, I understand that she's a little angry, but part of me thinks that they're overplaying the anger. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd be really pissed, too, the way things went down. But I think there might be, with the history that they have, I'm surprised that Parker can't figure out a way to fix this. If he, if he can't do that. But regardless, I'm really looking forward to seeing the outcome of that. And the other important thing is Jameson, while he doesn't have his newspaper, he now gets a TV show. So that is going to be basically 1 hour of anti-Spider-Man. So that part's going to be good. Overall, Slot's still doing a good job. So for me, I'm not bored with Slot's writing. I'm not bored with his vision. I say keep him on it for as long as possible, and then keep him on it for another year after that. But I think it's so far they're stepping in the right direction. My one criticism though is, and this is what I feared, there is not a lot of like, hey, why are you acting differently? Now every once in a while we get a comment like he's bipolar or something like that. So he's addressing it, but at the same time, somehow I'm thinking, could there be more to it than just that? And I'm hoping that somewhere further down that all of that stuff comes out. But we'll see. Anyways, that's my comic reviews. Let's get you some coding. And then don't forget to share the video. Let me know what you guys what did you guys like this week? Okay, there's that one. I still really do need to drop some more books. There's that. And there's that. Anyways, like I said, share, Facebook, Crunchyroll, anime reviews down there. I'll have more reviews and stuff later. So until next time.